Good morning everybody, you join us today at the Swindon and Cricklade Railway, which is a heritage centre just north of Swindon. It sits on top of the Midlands and South Western Junction Railway, which we've covered quite extensively in probably more than one video.
Yes.
But we love this line. So we were invited up here to talk about the line and talk about their plans, which are to extend north. The ultimate goal, I think, is then to have a station up at Cricklade. Yep. So yeah, come join us on our little journey today.
My name's Dave Herbert, yes, I'm one of the civil engineers for the Permanent Way Department of the Swindon and Cricklade Railway. My main job is to basically do all the track maintenance. I oversee the extensions of the railway in both directions and generally doing various other jobs on the railway as well. Right, the society started in 1978 as a group of enthusiasts that wanted to preserve a bit of this railway. The railway had been completely demolished here. There was nothing here at all other than the road bridge that you'll see to your right as we walk down.
And I'd imagine that's probably quite a rarity, so you imagine any other sort of lines that have reopened as a heritage centre, I'd imagine it has some kind of infrastructure to perhaps get them going. Am I right in saying
that's
that?
Right, yeah, that's the worst case scenario, and the problem is that's why to a lot of it we're quite small compared to other heritage centres, because even though we've got 2.5 miles of railway, we've basically had to reinstate 4 bridges. And by reinstating 4 bridges, that's a huge sum of money for like an infancy railway trying to get started on its feet. To give you some idea, the River Ray Bridge there's at the time was about £500,000
wow.
to reinstate.
So the extension, can we talk about the extension?
Right, yes. We basically, about 2 years ago, decided we wanted to actually push the railway back to Cricklade, to the outskirts of Cricklade. The original Cricklade station site itself is actually now lost under a road and a housing estate, so we can only run to the outskirts, and that is our ambition and plan at the moment. We've laid the concrete sleepers out ready beside the formation up to the first obstruction we got on the track bed, which I'll explain in a moment. Since then, we've also had a load of track donated to us from Disused Power Station.
I've read about that, yeah.
Which actually took about 6 to 8 men half a year to actually recover.
Right, okay, wow.
And without that actual boost to the railway, we'll be a lot further down than we would be now, trying to get the railway back to Cricklade.
Yeah.
I mean, what we're actually looking at this year to do, there's a lot of groundwork to be done. Because everyone thinks when you're actually building a railway, it's just clearing the track bed, banging track down on the floor.
Down and off you go.
There's a 10-phase programme. Laying track is the number 10 on the actual phase of actually. There's all various things we've got to do first. The major work we've got to do this year is obviously clearance of the ditch lines. All the trees that are overhanging will be the railway. Reinstating the ditches that are blocked by 60 years of rubbish, basically. Reinstate all the fence lines. The structures that we go over, like culverts and that, all need to be inspected, checked, and because we've got a culvert that's up there that's got some slight damage to it because it's had a tree growing through it for about 60 years, which is fixable. With modern technology, it's very fixable, but the trouble is it's actually a long-winded job, and it's also a cost involved to actually do it, a big cost.
I can imagine. Yeah, completely.
Once we've got to that stage, we will then actually start on the actual track bed itself, because the actual track bed as you see it now has got a build up of dirt and mud that's clipped since the line shut. Basically, we're going to scrape that all back to what they call the base level, because all the ballast that was originally on the formation's been robbed out over the years. There's no ballast left there whatsoever.
Okay. So was that a conscious thing, or was it just something that evolved in the value of ballast?
At the time, it happened a lot of places when line shut. the railway just abandoned them basically. They took the track up. They weren't interested in the stone, and it was basically free for all for anyone to come in and help themselves to stone and that as such.
Yeah. We're now head up to Hayes Knoll.
We're heading to TVH first, Tor Valley Halt. That's the next. That's our southern limits of operation. We're going to run at the moment. We're looking at progressing the railway further south. One problem we have got is that a lot of the track bed that's beyond Tor Valley Halt is actually earmarked for a road. Okay. So it's massively.
So focus is still in the north. For the
at the moment, it's going north. Yeah, we're time scale for going north, we want to do it as quickly as possible, and the reason why we say that, it's going to cost about £3 million to get to Cricklade. That's all the structural work, fencing, track work, a lot. The problem we got at the moment is we're fundraising for ballast. The first part of what we want to do, just the base ballast alone, is £80,000. That is what cripples us, is the cost of material. Because even though we've got the sleepers and the rails already in hand, the entire extension's got about £250,000 worth of ballast needed to actually do the entire work.
Wow.
Right, it's another restoration job in progress at the moment. We started painting it about a year ago. We had to stop due to finding major decay in the woodwork. All if but about 2 windows need to be replaced, so we're going to actually replace those next before we continue the actual restoration. And some of the woodwork on this side needs actually replacing as well, and then we'll continue painting it.
So like many on this railway, this heritage railway, another Dave. Who is in charge of Hayes Knoll Signal Box?
No, I am today.
You are today, but you are also?
I'm Deputy Permanent Way Manager, and and a trustee.
Okay, so you are a man of many talents, clearly.
All of them well hidden. Anyway, today, yes, I am controller, so if you'll excuse me while I just make sure. My main job today is to keep 2 trains that we're running apart.
Simple as that.
with a decent, with a known safety distance as well. Yes. As you can see, the box itself came from Rowley Regis up in the Midlands, and was relocated here in the 80s. It's been sort of fully restored, or it's being fully restored. As you can see, there's still some ongoing work, but the frame works the points. It doesn't yet work the signals. So yes. As you can see, the levers are all here to set up ready for signalling, but at the moment we don't have any. Like so many things, it's just a matter of too many jobs and not enough resources. More volunteers would speed jobs up, but that's where we are. But as I say, at the moment we do it by a system of flags.
So the first stage from where it is now up to Farfield Lane, how far is that in terms of distance?
It's about half a mile at the moment.
So the first stage is another half-mile extension.
Basically, yes, it is. Yeah.
Ideal.
And perfect. And as I say, it's just we've actually started up there now. Just sort of clearing vegetation at the moment. When we're sort of ready with machines, we'll go up there, and there's an awful lot. I mean, it's sort of preparation work really, because if you go to South Miller Lane itself at the moment, there's lots of materials all over the place. It's completely full. It all needs moving around, and nothing's light. Everything weighs at least half a ton.
Yes. So logistics is
it's exactly logistics. That's the main thing. Lots of materials to move, but hopefully, end of this year we'll have something to show.
Okay, brilliant. this is Hayes Knoll.
This is Hayes Knoll's restoration shed. This is where all the actual vehicles on the railway are actually restored back to running order. Usually from scrapyard condition back to
Yeah.
Give you a prime example. This is Alston Hall. When it came here, it was in scrapyard condition. All the fittings are missing from it. Basically, it's going through full major overhaul. There's about £300,000 worth of work to restore that back to as a running engine.
Yeah. Fantastic. And how far away do you think we are in terms of?
Probably around 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the bottom end's done, which is the rods, the wheel sets, the fitting out the cab. All this has been recreated from scratch because it was all missing. Then the boiler has to go away for actual boiler work.
Yeah.
And that's the expensive part of the job, basically. That, and depending on what they find, is the time's gone. That could be about between a year and 18 months, something around that time scale. Next engine you got here is an 09, very common southern loco.
Yeah.
When it actually come here, it had a broken generator, basically. The straightforward job was of actually had to replace it. We sound straightforward enough, but the trouble is to actually replace a generator, you've got to take the roof off, lift the engine out to get out the generator and replace the generator. This one. This four-wheeler coach is number 73. It's a Cambrian railway coach. Believe it or not, when we took this on, it was a garden shed. Basically, we've fully restored it back from nothing. Basically, all the interior was missing. Everything you see in here is actually been put back by us. We had to locate and find an underframe for it as well to actually match up to, and so we can make it a running vehicle again. Okay, this is 5619. This is a loco that's on loan for us from Telford Steam Trust. We're running it most weekends during the summer for main steam engines. As you can see at the moment, it's not just about driving a steam engine. There's maintenance work to be done on them as well. You've got to do checks of various things like that there's no leaks or anything on it. Everything's lubricated and oiled. Basically cleaning out all the smoke box and that of all the ash and various build up that's in there. And just general maintenance. And it's amazing the amount of man hours. This is the unseen side of the railway that a lot of people don't see, is the man hours that go into making these things run. What's it on average about 2 to 3 hours to light it up in the morning before you even come off shed. But the fireman's breakfast on the shovel is still one of the best you can have.
Okay, all that's left to do is say thank you to our hosts, Dave and Dave.
Thank you very much for coming.
Really appreciate our time today. We've learned a heck of a lot more than we can put on this short film. So in terms of what you can do next, you can come and volunteer if you're local, if this is the sort of thing you want to do with your time. Failing that, come and visit. We'll put all the links below. You can look at all the days. I've got the Gala days, the Steam days, the Diesel days, Vintage days. There's all sorts going on. So make sure you come and visit. If you can't visit but you still want to contribute, you can donate online. Again, it's the same on the website.
On the Swindon and Cricklade Railway web pages, yes.
Fantastic. So thank you for watching, and thanks again to these guys. Fantastic.
Thank you very much. Thank you.